What's up, everybody? It's your boy King Hussle. Yes, it's the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you'll be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on, and you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on my Twitch, King Hustle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and the Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you gotta do is click the title on every video. Once you click the title on every video, at the bottom in the description, all my social media links will pop up. All right, got a lot of fake King Hustle pages out there, so please get a FaceTime verification call or video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you are doing legit business and you are getting what you paid for, right? And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey, what to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members. And we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's going to turn you into a boss. So you're tired of being the zero, you ready to be a family hero. Let's go take a seat. Get your notepad and get your pen because you already know when I drop these videos and y'all get them notifications, it's going to be some information that's going to help you win, keep you entertain or keep you informed of what's going on out here in this world. All right. And today we're gonna be talking about these new methods, these new scams, these new tactics, these new schemes that's going on. They got new people, random people, aunties, brothers, cousins, sisters, little babies getting some money. Yeah, people are figuring a lot of things out in today's world. I don't know what's going on, but people are starting to figure out, and a lot of new people are starting to get into the scam and the fraud, the dark world. Now, and we're gonna get right into it because a lot of people been asking me about this, and I told them I was gonna make a video about this. So this new method, this bank method that's been going on, is this basically this spoof bot. And basically, the spoof bot is people getting spoof bots, and the spoof bot is basically you can basically call or text anybody, and the number that pop up will be any number that you want to pop up, anything. It could be a Target, a Walmart, a Domino's, a bank. That person's number, it don't matter. Whatever number you want to put up on it and put to pop to whatever number you want to use, that number pop up when you call that person or when you text that person. So people are scammers and fraudsters are utilizing these spoof bots to act like they are the bank's fraud department. So this method has been going on for a very long time, but now it has been like they kind of like tweaked it and fixed it up because back in the day, everybody used to get these text messages. Everybody, random text messages from banks they didn't even have, and that was the problem. People was getting random numbers just texting anybody, and more than likely they didn't even have a bank with the bank that they was using or talking or saying that they was. So of course they automatically knew that that was a scam call or a scam text message off rip. Like I don't even got a bank account with them. Like what are you talking about? So they didn't get any response, but they figured out and said, okay, how can we get people people's information who actually have bank accounts with these banks? And that's where the dark web comes in at. People start requesting these type of things and talking to hackers on different forums and things. And they made it so now you can buy different banks' databases with different people's information. So now that these scammers and fraudsters have these databases where not all the people, but X amount of people who actually have a bank account with this bank and their information, is making the method easier for the scammer or the fraudster. So instead of having 100, 200 people, random numbers, who out of all of those people, probably 10 or 12, maybe 15 people actually have a bank account with the bank that you're using. Now you know that all of these people actually have a bank account with them. You know, and you got their information. So it'd be easier for the person who's calling to actually act like the bank teller from the fraud department. So they buy the databases from these different banks. They act like they get the number from the fraud department for that bank. Easy Google search. Get that. They create these text messages, templates. So they put the numbers in the spoofer and they send out the text message to these people. Because you can send out, you can put in as many, X amount of numbers, and then send out the same text message at the same time. So like you know when you like a group chat, it's like a group chat. You put in different numbers and that one text message will go out to these different numbers. So it's like a group chat. So you put in all these different numbers and then go out to all these people. And then people will start responding. Now by people actually having that bank, it's going to give them, because it's coming out of nowhere. So it's going to give them some type of fear, some type of sense of urgency, and they're going to, get that feeling like, what? No, and they're going to respond back, no. Once they respond back, no, the scammer or the fraudster will send another text message like, hey, okay, such and such bank fraud department will be in contact with you shortly. So they give it a little second. They might give it a minute, and then they call that person. And when they call the person, the victim, the bank information pops up like such and such bank fraud, all that pops up. So they like it's really the fraud department for that bank. So now they're talking to this person, and this person, a lot of people, a lot of times people be actually thinking it's the bank. And people start asking certain questions like, "Hey, have you, because since they got the information already, they know like certain purchases, certain times and dates and all this. So they're verifying information. So they gonna verify a couple payments and they gonna put that last payment in there that's just fake payment in there, and they gonna be like, no. So by them knowing actual payments, that's gonna make the victim feel like this is really the bank. So they tell the person like, okay, they need to do now certain different ways that the person to do it or the scammer to do it. One way is ask the person to get on their login information, their username and password, and what do they want to change it to, and then they'll log into that person's account while they're getting that information, and then they're gonna say, hey, we're gonna send you a one-time password. Can you give us verify that code? They're actually logging into that person's account, but by them logging into that person's account, they got to send that the actual bank is sending that one-time password to the victim's phone. But they think they own the phone with the bank. So they're verifying it with the scammer. So the scammer gets that code and they puts it in and now they get into that person's bank account. Now, this is where the social engineering comes in at. By them social engineering that victim into giving that person their information, the outside looking in, when the bank looks at it, it looks like the victim is the one who's logging in. So when it looks like the victim is logging in, it looks like the victim is the one sending money all to different places. And by the victims giving that person that one time password, that is now classified as scam, not fraud. And the banks only basically cover fraudulent activities. And when this happens, banks don't like to give people back their money because they give them the excuse once you gave up the one time password, it was now it's now a scam. It's not fraud. Because like I said, fraudulent activities when somebody opens up accounts and get checks and deposit checks and gets credit cards and debit cards in somebody else's name to utilize their funds. This person social engineered, manipulated, tricked this person into doing all these things on their own. It's a difference. And banks don't cover scams, they cover fraudulent activity. So a lot of kids, a lot of young adults are getting hip to this method right here. A lot of people are finding bots and finding databases and off the dark web and doing this crime. So it's just all about, and then they even got it where people are calling people, going to their house and cutting up their debit card in front of them, putting it into envelopes, and using that person's debit card. Like these scams are getting so crazy and wild and elaborate that some things you wouldn't even believe that they did it, but they did. And I just did a reaction video on a fake Chase banker or Wells Fargo banker who was actually doing that. Like somebody actually was going to somebody's house, calling them, going to their house, getting their debit cards, cutting it, and putting it in a brown envelope and using the card at different places. It's getting real out here with these scams and this fraud, and there's a lot of things that banks can't even do about it because banks don't want to give these people back their money unless it hits the news. Now, once it hits the news, that's when the banks give back the people their money because they don't want their bank to be blasted on the news as somewhere that people, the bank just letting people get scammed. But it happens more often than you would imagine. So it's all about being more safe, being more cautious, and being more aware of what's going on out there in this crazy real world that we all living in because nobody wants to become a victim of this crime. So like I tell you guys all the time, get your Norton LifeLock to monitor all your financial accounts and social media accounts to make sure no suspicious activity is going on. And it will monitor the dark web to make sure none of your personal information is on there being sold. So make sure you guys get your Norton LifeLock. Make sure you guys are freezing your credit profiles, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian so nobody can get anything in your name, not even you. No loans, no credit cards, no lines of credit, no apartments, no cars, no nothing. So freeze them joints if you're not utilizing them. Also get new credit card and debit card numbers every so often. We use them a lot and we've been using them for years and we've been using the same one. And every time we use it, it's going to be on the database. And there's always a database compromised or hacked. And if we get new debit card numbers and new debit cards with new information and on them, that old information will no longer be valid and you have a fresh start. All right, so make sure you guys are getting new debit card and credit cards with new information to get that fresh start. Make sure you guys and with that being said, man, make sure you guys stay more safe, stay more cautious, and be more aware of what's going on out there in this crazy real world that we living in. All right. So shout out to all my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there because without y'all there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me keep going. Y'all motivate me keep dropping the sauce, and y'all motivate me keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there is tired of being broke because it ain't no joke. Let's get to work. FaceTime one-on-one limited gyms are $1,000, but for limited time only. I'm doing it for 600. Yes, 600 cash app or Bitcoin payment. Once the 600 is on your Cash App or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know your payment ready, and we will go from there. All right, no screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions, and please do not yell me. Make sure y'all booking y'all seat on the webinars Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 250. Um, Ask me anything, get help with anything that y'all want to get help with. So let's get to work. Make sure y'all. I forgot what I was about to say. Make sure y'all book y'all seat on the crypto tour in person limited gyms, 3,500. Make sure y'all book y'all seat on a month long mentorship, $1,000. Make sure y'all checking out my vendor platforms on Telegram and the Potato App Millionaire Network. Still looking for people for the production company. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit the notification bell on my YouTube channels, my Twitches, my IGs, and TikToks. Make sure y'all checking out the crypto world because it's changing people's lives. And make sure y'all getting in where y'all fit in with these load ups. All right, 120 and up. You trying to make some. You tired of being broke because it ain't no joke. You trying to get I got you. All right. Send them screenshots when you're ready. We're going to go from there. All right. Try and get to this right here. Let's make it happen. And with that being said, it's your boy King Hustle. Y'all know I get down in these videos. I'll see you at the next lesson, video, or live. Peace, me amigos.